So let's look into the very first chemical equation we have over here. So first, let's identify the compounds that are involved. First thing is first, we have this to be calcium oxide, also known as quicklime. Then we have H2O that you guys know of, that's your water. And then we have CaOH twice. Can you take a guess? Obviously, it has to be calcium and it has to relate to oxygen and hydrogen. So what is it? Yes, hydroxide. This also has a common name, that's your slaked lime or your lime water. Of course, if it's in water. Now let's balance it out. See, in all of the future equation, this is how I'm going to balance. First, I'm going to write the reactant and the product on the top. So I'll put a line to differentiate. This is important for us. Then I'm going to write all the atoms that are part of the reaction. Then I'm going to have a look at the count. See, in CaO, how many calcium is there? 1. Oxygen is 1. There's no hydrogen. In H2O, there's no calcium. There is 1 hydrogen and 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. And in CaOH twice, there is 1 calcium. There is 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So how to read and how to count the number of atoms in a given expression, that is taught in basics. If you guys are not very clear with what are these numbers, I'm just writing the count. In H2O, how many hydrogen atoms are there? In H2O, how many oxygen atoms are there? That's the basic thing. I'll just indicate that if you guys want to be very clear. So this particular value is to do with how many hydrogen atoms are present in CaOH twice. Okay, this is how you get started off with. Now let's see if it's balanced. Ca is balanced. Oxygen 1 plus 1 and this is 2. LHS is equal to RHS over here. Hydrogen LHS is equal to RHS. So this is a balanced equation. So what is the right equation though? In your exam, you need to write this way. Ca CaO solid plus H2O liquid giving us CaOH twice aqueous. And this also leads to heat being generated. So we'll understand why is this heat generated, at least a bit. We'll get introduced to it. This is the fundamental information. Of course, there is one more actually. How do you get to know that the reaction has occurred? Obviously, the very first thing is heat is being generated. Heat is released. I think that's better. Or this is an exothermic reaction. That's one of the ways to check this out. Then what else? There is milky white precipitate. Provided the calcium oxide is not fully dissolved or if the solution is concentrated. If the solution is concentrated, okay, you guys can write that. Then you can also hear a hissing sound. So you can watch this in next set of videos wherein we would have put our reactions. Okay. Now this part is extra bit of information that's for us to understand what is happening. First thing first, let's look at what is CaO, what kind of bond it has. So we have CaO is over here, valence is -2 and +2. Electronegativity is, the difference is clearly more than 1.7. So it's supposed to be, yes, ionic bond. Again, I'm oversimplifying things. but at least somewhere we have to get started, right, to understand all of this. H2O, you guys should know this. It's a popular polar covalent bond. Again, understanding all of these terms, you need to go back to basics. And finally, we have CaOH twice. So the comment should be telling you guys that this is also a ionic bond. Done? Now, the question is, why does it happen? It's quite simple. When we put CaO, a solid ionic bond, right? CaO. Then when we look at H2O, so this is O and this is H2. The Ca is positive charge. Ionic bond, positive and negative is very clear. In this, it acts like in this manner basically. This is negative and this is positive. So what happens to negative and positive? Yes, they get attracted. Similarly, there will be many such attraction. So what will happen when such a thing happens, So there is one more, this here would be negative, right? So negative will get, the hydrogen atoms will get attracted. So what happens over here? There is a strong pull. Water is a universal solvent. So there is a strong pull. So our Ca2 plus and O2 minus gets surrounded with water molecule. They are broken, right? They are broken over here and they get surrounded with water molecule. So this is water molecule surrounding. So again, chemical reaction has to do with breaking, right? So this is where it breaks basically. Breaking because of water. And then they get surrounded with water molecule. But O2 minus is the strong base. What does that mean? It takes up H2O, it accepts the hydrogen and it makes OH minus. So along with H2O, okay, it forms twice of OH minus. It is a strong base. Again, all these are too technical, I know, but in time you'll understand it. I'm just introducing it. Don't take it to heart. Just listen to it. In time you'll understand it. Now, this is negatively charged. There is 2 of it and we have Ca2 plus. What will happen? They will react and thus we have the end product. We have CaOH twice. Does it make sense? This is for our understanding. So don't take it to your mind that I'm not able to understand it completely. It will take some time. And that's your very first reaction.